met me, I have extremely severe anxiety. It's kind of like a moderate level of anxiety at all times, and then it'll fluctuate when I have anxiety attacks. And I've been having more often than not of these anxiety attacks recently. And I wanted to share some tips for anybody else that's going through something similar, because I have not found any helpful advice on the internet for what to do when you are balls deep in a severe panic attack in public or at work or at school. Anywhere that you can't just go leave and do yoga or, drink more water. I want to share my experience and what I found helps when I am feeling really awful and can't bolt as much as I want to. So I wrote down a couple of things that have helped me in times like that, and I use these tips every time. So take these with a grain of salt. So if you are struggling with any kind of panic disorder, please, please, please see a doctor, get yourself the proper care. YouTube videos can't cure everything, but I'll probably make another video getting deeper into my personal story with anxiety, but is this being recording? Yes. But pretty much I have metaphobia. I'll put this on the screen, which is the phobia, not just a fear, a phobia of anything related to being sick, throwing up. And that's something that has been a huge trigger for my anxiety. A lot of my panic revolves around myself or others near me being ill. So that's kind of a personal thing, as well as I do have PTSD, and I get some of my panic attacks induced from flashbacks when I'm triggered by stuff in my environment. So that's a little bit about what's kind of going on with me. And these tips definitely have saved my ass more than once when I was somewhere panicking, when I can't just run away and hide. I know that panic attacks don't always pick the right time to show up. So number one, control your physical surroundings as much as you can to make yourself comfortable. If this includes taking off layers to be cooler if you're feeling warm, putting on a blanket if you're getting chilly or shaky, doing anything that's kind of minor switches that are in your control that will make you feel more comfortable in that instant. Something that I like to do is sit under a heating pad, because I get really cold and shaky when I get anxious. So for me, sitting under a blanket with a heating pad or some sort of warm, if I'm out and I can't get a heating pad, obviously, I'll order a hot tea or a hot water and kind of put it near my stomach or my abdomen. It kind of gives me that comforting feeling. Just like any kind of also beverage, like if you're somebody who gets very hot when you get panicky, get a cup of ice and kind of hold that near you, or chew on the ice, the warmth or the cool temperature, and it's kind of like almost an outside stimuli that kind of takes a little bit of the edge off for me. So whatever it is that makes you feel better, if it's cool, if it's warm, kind of tweak your environment to as much as you can. And I know just thinking about the little things like that can make a big difference in how you feel. One of the things that I do, this is probably my biggest tip, is I go and read kind of specialized forums. The forum that I specifically read and am a part of is metaphobia.org. And a lot of my panic attacks either cause me to feel ill or nauseous, which in turn makes me feel more anxious. So this is kind of just a forum. It's like a safe place where members can post and they can chat with each other, and you can kind of panic post if you need to, and you can reach out and provide guidance to other members who might be struggling if you have that in you. I have been a member of this site for 5 or 6 years now. It's kind of almost like a little secret thing that I do when I'm feeling anxious is I'll pull out my phone and kind of nonchalantly like read through these posts. And reading through other people's, whatever other people are going through, makes me feel better. And to go along with the different forums that you can be a part of, another thing that I like to do is I find that a lot of people are very, very open about what they're going through on the internet, even if they're not people that you know personally. If there is a specific thing that I'm struggling with at the moment, I will look up that hashtag, the hashtag of whatever that might be. For me, it's hashtag emetophobia on Instagram, and I'll scroll through people's posts at hashtag emetophobia. Also, be careful because sometimes people do post triggering things and there isn't kind of a trigger filter, but for me, I'm not really very triggered by visual stuff. So seeing, you know, people going through whatever it is, kind of the same as forums, does help to kind of de-escalate my own anxiety. When I get anxious, I will just pull out my phone, even like if I'm with people or if I have a moment to be able to pull out my phone, I will read through these or I will chat with people on the sites that are online, and people from all over the world are on this site, and it feels good knowing that you have kind of this online community that can give you that advice and that support when maybe you don't have that in your own personal life, or even just in that moment. If you're at work and you're feeling completely overwhelmed, if you have a moment to just take a restroom break and go sit on the toilet on your phone and kind of just chat with somebody or scroll through and see that you're not by yourself and that there's other people going through the same thing, it makes so much of a difference. So I'm going to look and find some more forums that you can be a part of below, and I will link those. Yeah, it's been such a great help. I really appreciate the resource that the internet has provided in terms of support, especially for emetophobia in specific. So my next tip is almost, it's kind of like 2 tips in one. Affirmations, positive affirmations. I did not believe in kind of like the power of your thoughts until very recently. I have been kind of going through a rough patch for a couple of months now, and I kind of have been watching people's videos about manifesting and law of attraction type of stuff, and I kind of just have kind of fallen into positive chants and affirmations myself. I kind of just do them now without thinking. And something that has helped me enormously in times of panic attacks is an app, and this app is called Think Up. It is a paid app. I believe it's $6 per month if you want to like have all the features of the app. So I'll give you a little rundown of the app. There's different categories. There's happiness, gratitude, support, mindset, health, career, relax, breathe. And then within those categories, there are a bunch of different affirmations that you can add to your list. And then through this app, you record your own voice saying the affirmation. And then you can have like a whole library of these little mantras that you have in your own voice. And then it will put them all together with kind of like a binaural beat in the background and kind of string it together almost like a playlist. And your brain can kind of pick it up better. It's so much better than hearing just affirmations said to you by another person, since it is your own voice. And obviously if you don't want to purchase an app, you can write down some that mean a lot to you and just kind of repeat them to yourself or record them on yourself on your phone saying it. And it sounds silly, but it really, really does help. Very helpful. I think that we kind of get into this cycle of when we start to cry, we apologize to whoever we're with, and I think just retraining yourself to be thinking of your anxiety as something that deserves to be treated versus something that you need to apologize for is a huge mindset switch that does end up helping. So my next tip, this might not work for everybody. This is just something that'll work for me. Occasionally, if you're in a place where you can take some time out for yourself and you're having a panic attack, something that helps me is watching a show or a YouTube video, not necessarily a horror movie, but I like watching some sort of high adrenaline TV show. Like my favorite is Kitchen Nightmares, where somebody's getting yelled at or somebody's freaking out about something very trivial. I find that it kind of redirects my adrenaline that I'm feeling in my own body to be focused on this kind of fictional scene. So thank you so much for watching this video. please subscribe. I will be posting more content about my own personal journeys with my anxiety, and check in the description box below for some helpful links that I will be posting in there. I hope that whatever you're going through, you get some relief very soon, and I will see you guys in the next video.